Let's go Broncos! Something big just happened in Broncos country. We're talking about a defining moment that could alter the entire course of the Denver Broncos season. A key player is out, the secondary is being reshuffled, and with the toughest part of the schedule approaching, the pressure is officially on. What happens next could trigger a playoff run or cause a shock in Dove Valley, and no one expected it, not like this. Before we delve into this dramatic turn of events, do me a quick favor. If you have orange and blue blood, click like right now. And let's see how long you've been a Broncos fan. Leave a comment below and say, "Go Broncos!" My heart runs orange and blue. If you've been a fan for over 20 years, it's time to support this team. Alright, let's get to it. This isn't the news anyone in Broncos country wanted to hear. Surtain II, the reigning defensive player of the year and arguably the best cornerback in the entire NFL, is out for the next 4 to 6 weeks with a pec strain. Reports from top insiders like Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport confirm that Surtain is now a prime candidate to land on IR. It's a devastating blow. He's not just the anchor of the secondary, he's the heart and soul of the Broncos defense, the leader, the captain. And now he's sidelined right when the schedule turns into an absolute gauntlet. Coming up, the Broncos face the Texans, Raiders, Chiefs, and Commanders, all tough matchups. And right around the time Surtain might return, it doesn't get any easier. Games against the Jaguars, Packers, another showdown with the Chiefs, and a late-season clash with the Chargers are looming. The timing could not be worse. But here's where it gets interesting. With Surtain out, this is the moment for Jaquan McMillian, Riley Moss, and most notably, Jonathan J. Barron to step up. The coaching staff has always talked about Barron's versatility. He was drafted specifically for his ability to play anywhere in the secondary. Nickel, outside corner, even safety if needed. Now it's time for him to prove it. The plan? Shift Jade Barron to the outside. That opens up the slot for Jaquan McMillian to take over as the full-time nickel, a role he's already rotated in this season. McMillian has made some big plays and earned trust. Now he's going to be asked to do a lot more. Meanwhile, Riley Moss will have to hold it down as the ex-cover corner. That's a tall order, considering he'll likely be matched up against some elite WR1s like Nico Collins next week. Collins is a physical beast, big, fast, tough, and the Texans are not to be underestimated. Even though C.J. Stroud seems to have taken a small step back, Houston still boasts a powerful defense and can strike quickly. Moss has had his struggles this year, including a few penalties in the Dallas game, some of which were questionable calls. But this is it, trial by fire. He and Barron have to lock in and elevate their game. There's also Chris Abrams-Draine, who had a solid preseason. Some fans are wondering if he could slot in if things go south, but he's not Surtain and not Barron either. Against the Cowboys, when he came in after Surtain went down, C.D. Lamb picked on him. The difference in talent level was obvious. Abrams-Draine has potential. He's long, strong, and plays with intensity, but he's raw. And against some of the best receivers in the league, there's not much room for error. This is where coaching really comes into play. Sean Payton and Vance Joseph are going to have to play chess, not checkers. Rotations, coverages, disguises, expect all of it. They may even consider shifting Brandon Jones or tweaking Jaquan McMillian's role to help shore up that secondary. It's going to be fascinating to watch how they scheme it. Now let's talk about why this injury impacts more than just the defense. With Surtain out, the pressure ramps up on the defensive line and pass rush. That means the front seven absolutely must deliver. The run defense has to be airtight. The pass rush needs to hit home faster. The Broncos have shown flashes, real momentum building in recent weeks, but now the margin for error just got slimmer. On the offensive side, the stakes are raised even higher. Points are now a premium. The offense has to carry more weight. You can't expect the defense to bail them out every week, especially not with their best player sidelined. So, it's time for Russell Wilson, Courtland Sutton, and Javonte Williams to start stringing together drives and putting points on the board consistently. The Broncos can't afford slow starts anymore. The whole team has to rise together. This next phase of the season is where legacies are written, and for players like Jade Barron, Riley Moss, and Jaquan McMillian, this is their proving ground. We're not just talking about filling in for a few snaps or playing cleanup duty. This is a full-on trial by fire against some of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL. And if the Broncos want to keep their playoff hopes alive, if they want to continue this momentum, they need these guys to grow up fast and play lights-out football starting now. Let's zoom in on Jade Barron for a second. He's been the talk of the building ever since draft day because of his rare combination of instincts, athleticism, and football IQ. This was always the vision, why the Broncos used a first-round pick on a nickel corner from Texas. Not because he was flashy, but because he was versatile. The coaching staff has been grooming him for this kind of situation. And now, He's being asked to do what Pat Surtain does best, lock down elite receivers on the outside. Can he rise to that challenge? That's the million-dollar question. If Barron can handle the outside corner responsibilities, it unlocks the rest of the secondary. Jaquan McMillian can slide into the slot full-time, where he's already shown flashes of being a legitimate playmaker. He's got a nose for the football and doesn't shy away from physicality. But now, he's got to take on guys like Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel in space. That's a huge test. Riley Moss, meanwhile, has had an up-and-down year. The penalties have been frustrating, and there are moments where he's looked like a liability in coverage. But there are also moments where you see the potential, the closing speed, the physicality at the catch point, the ability to recover. And like Barron, he's going to be facing top-tier receivers from here on out. Nico Collins, Christian Watson, Keenan Allen. This isn't preseason anymore. This is real, high-leverage football, and Moss needs to take a leap fast. Vance Joseph now finds himself in a critical spot. He's got to disguise coverages, mix and zone, maybe use more two-safety looks to protect the corners. Will we see more Brandon Jones? Could they give more snaps to Chris Abrams-Drain in rotation, especially in dime packages? It all depends on how Barron and Moss respond early. The flexibility of this defense is about to be tested in ways we haven't seen all year. And that brings us to the rest of the defense. Without Surtain locking down one side of the field, the pass rush becomes even more vital. This group has to eat. We're talking Zach Allen, Nick Benito, Baron Browning, guys who have flashed, who have gotten sacks and QB hits, but now need to do it consistently. They have to take pressure off the secondary. C.J. Stroud may have regressed slightly, but he's still mobile, and if he has time, he'll find his weapons. The Broncos front has to get home. Every single game. Let's not forget, too, the mental impact of losing someone like Pat Surtain. This isn't just about scheme or talent. It's about leadership. It's about having a guy in the locker room and on the field who sets the tone. He's not just the best player on defense, he's the emotional anchor. When he's out, the rest of the unit has to find a new voice, a new leader, someone who can step up and rally the troops. That might fall on Justin Simmons. It might fall on Zach Allen. Whoever it is, someone has to speak up and lead. And then there's the offense, which becomes even more critical now. Sean Payton knows that in order to weather the storm, they have to outscore teams. No more conservative play calling. No more 3-and-outs. Russell Wilson has to be efficient, explosive, and careful with the football. Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy need to create separation. The running game has to be effective enough to keep defenses honest. And the offensive line, which has shown improvement, needs to give Russ time to operate. If the Broncos can stay ahead on the scoreboard, it allows this banged-up defense to play more freely. But if they're trailing, if the game script turns against them, that's when the cracks will show. It's a dangerous tightrope to walk, and that's why every detail, every decision, every possession from here on out matters. So, what does all this mean in the bigger picture? It means we're about to find out what this Broncos team is really made of. Every player, every coach, every unit is going to be tested. And while losing Surtain is a gut punch, it's also an opportunity for Barron, for Moss, for McMillian, for Payton and Joseph to show the league that this team doesn't fold when things get tough, that they can rally, adjust, and keep climbing. Broncos country, this next stretch is going to be defining. Will the defense hold up without its star? Will the offense carry more of the load? Can the young guys seize their moment and keep the season alive? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you made it this far, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out the next video that's already on your screen. Go Broncos, we're in this together.